Welcome to Bromley Wonders. Today's adventure is inspired by an episode of Rosie and Jim that we watched this morning with John on the boat, you know, the old guy, the one that we trusted.
Hello, I'm John.
So it's a pretty old episode being that, but we thought we'd watch that. Evie was entertained by the music and the puppets and that, and then he said we're going to Dudley for the day.
Well, I want to get on today and get all the way to Dudley, along here.
And we're like, oh, we know where he's heading, and it was the 10 Locks. Just kind of by the Delph, but ultimately kind of Quarry Bank way. But this building does feature in the episode, and it's changed a little bit, not for the better, but we're going to go back to the first lock where they start, because it's all about climbing hills and teaching children how to use the lock system on the canals. And then we'll show you what's actually around here as well, because it's pretty cool actually. Last time we came down here, there was a mum with 11 kids. It looks like we've got a few of the young guns here, but look at that bloody tribe. Terrifying. Cute though. There's a big chicken. Oh, very pleasant. Even the black country geese are nice, which we're making a point of just how friendly everyone is around here.
Spot on, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you. Oh, you're small. There's so many. So I'm not sure how much footage I'll be allowed to show of the Rosie and Jim episode, but they did a very good visual representation of how this works. How does John get up the hill in a boat? But they don't even really explain about the fact that you can't go up hills in water. They just get straight to the mechanics of it. But I imagine kids just know that, do they? They just know that.
Here we go. Chuck, 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 chuck. There. Now, turn the taps on and let the water in, please. No.
Oh, there's the Lonely Swan. We said we've come down here before and there were local people who look out for these birds on almost a daily basis by the looks of it, with the bread and that. And everyone had noticed that this swan had come from somewhere, and he was a little lonely boy on his own. But he moved down here. Proper engineering. I don't know if it's who would this be? Would this be a Brindley? I don't know. Well, we will find out. I'm guessing it's I'm gonna say 1878, but it could be way earlier. Like canals are around in the 1700s. The old highways of the past. Oh, look at him. He's a bit hissy. We ain't got no breads, mate. I'm sorry. Oofed. His head. Got a pink head. Hello. Duck. Quack. This morning, Evie the baby actually started noticing the quacky duck on the rag doll, which was cute. Evie. Quack. Quack. It was about 20 years out, 1858 this lot, and it is the 10 Locks up there towards, I don't know if it's Cradley Heath round here. I know Quarry Bank definitely up there, but I don't know when Cradley gets involved. But what was unseen on the Rosie and Jim episode, I mean, we see John parked up here with the guys in the boat, and he starts here. There's like loads of nice shots of all this actually, and that's like exceedingly dry, like it hadn't overflowed for years, but it's definitely here. And what they didn't show is the really nice pub just here, the 10th Lock, which we've done before. It's not the ale choice that we'd go for, but we're going to pop in anyway because it's part of the trail and it's something you should do. But we'll show you where you should probably start, and that is, I think it's called the Bell, and it's a Black Country Ales pub just round there over the bridge. So we're going to head there for a pint, and then hit here, and then you want to go up the road and then eventually peel off and hit the Batham's main brewery on the Delph. It's amazing. Daniel Batham. Exceedingly good beers, and all they really do is a mild and a bitter, and they're both amazing, and the cobs there are amazing, and the people there are equally amazing. So yeah, Rosie and Jim brought us here today. We thought, if he says, you know, because it was mostly West Midlands based anyway, so we did say wherever they end up, that's where we're going today, because I've got a day off. And this is where we are. So thanks, John. And I suppose rest in peace. I don't know, did he die? I guess so. He was pretty old back in, I guess it was the late 90s. So yeah, this video is in memory of John the boatman. Canal man? Yeah. We're working on the conspiracy here that John the boatman knew about all the nice pubs down here. Now, were they here in the 90s? I imagine so. Bavham's definitely would have been. This Bell definitely would have been, maybe not a Black Country Ales, but we're saying that he brought the crew here so they could come for a beer, basically. So he's just like, give me a head start. I'll be there in about 3 days, I guess, from Birmingham. How long to get? Canal people, how long does it take to get from Birmingham? Because they were at the old turn, that's what they call it, outside the NIA, which didn't exist then, so it's a very weird thing to watch. But then, yeah, in 2 seconds they're here. But the Bell just there. So it looks like we've had a lot of, what would you call it, monocouche plaster work on the front there. So it's very clean, but I imagine this was an old boy building that's been here since the canals, surely. So I think it'll be old, and there'll be a lovely chimney and fireplace maybe. But yeah, it's right next to the canals here. So let's have a go in the Bell on the Delph. So we're guessing this is a BCA pub, Black Country Ales, but it's actually really not advertised at all on the outside. But you can tell by the wallpaper. You can tell there's some money in this biz. So the Bell, great place. I think it's been around since the 1888, and eventually it was taken on by Bavham's Brewery for a bit, and then it fell into the hands, I can't remember, something Dakin, and it was a pub right up until about 5 years ago. Then closed down, became derelict, then was recently reopened a year ago. I think just the Friday just gone was its anniversary. And it is now owned by a local couple, but the bloke who owns it tarts up all the Black Country Ales pubs, and he asked for their permission to do this pub, his pub, up in the same style, and they agreed, and that's why it looks like a BCA pub but isn't a BCA pub. But very nice. They have cheese nights on Mondays, they have bands on once a month, and they've got 6 ales on, a couple of ciders, cobs and that. Very nice, lovely person working there, the daughter, who used to work in the Black Country Museum, which reminds us that we should definitely go there. And I think that's everything to report on that one, but definitely worth a visit, very nice. So now we are back on the canal, heading away from the 10 locks and towards, is it Britnell Road? I'll confirm, but the Starving Rascal is the next pub, which has been recommended by the bar lady there, and apparently next door to that is the Swan, which is equally as good and worth a visit. So brilliant. Nice canal walk. Huge. Must be a bowling alley. And just down the road from Britnell Bridge, whatever, Britnell, I don't know. We have the Starving Rascal, an actual, thank you very much, the good people of the Black Country. Yeah, we were literally just saying there's just been no issues, no horrible people, everyone's very friendly, it's very nice over here. And yeah, delete the graffiti and this would be semi-Hobbiton Isengard, like on the way to Brie, obviously, but not the worst. Here we go, an actual BCA pub, the Starving Rascal, and apparently just down the road here is the Swan, which we'll also give it a go before we go on, like.
Oh, so basically, yeah, there's probably a starving rascal bloke who was trying to get some scran off the landlord a few years ago. And he died, you know, because they left him outside in the cold for too long. So he's probably haunting the place now, which isn't, it's not ideal, but he's actually alright, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I can't do that bit, but there you go.
Here we go, that was the Starving Rascal. It has a garden and all that. Unfortunately, it's April again, which is a shame. But hey ho, off to the next one. We had two options here. We could have gone down to the Swan down the road, but it looked like their ales were a little bit kind of Weatherspoons cast-offs, like your Salopian, Lemon Dream and stuff like that, but that's just going by the photos. So we're going the other way towards the Robin Hood, which looks like, at least at some point in history, it had the Babham's bitter on, which we know is good. So we're going that way. But it's a bit of a walk back, to be honest, because of the rain, so we might have to camp here until further notice. And we're just going to live on cobs for the rest of the week. Little idea of what the Black Country is looking like down this side. I don't know how much it was bombed or not, but these 50s builds look like it was bombed a little bit. I'd live there if I've got a nice pub opposite called the Robin Hood, nice and local. If it's local, I hope it's local. Feels less local the further we walk. Yeah, the Robin Hood. Oh, here. Lovely. Oh, that's a nice little one, isn't it? That looks good. No Dalek access. Like all of them round here, you have to leave your Daleks outside. There we go, happy to report there is Dalek access from the back garden. Fully ramped, good to go. If you start recording, you can't actually zoom out away from 2 times, which is weird, but we're headed back up the road to the main road and then getting back on the canal and walking back toward the Vine. And that'll do, we're not having a curry today. We'll order something, but unfortunately some news that we did just hear whilst we were in there is Mr. Osmond Osborne has passed away. The Prince of Darkness has left the building, and I don't know, we're not in Birmingham, but I suppose drinking in the Black Country is a good enough send-off. What the hell? Back on the canal, heading back towards the 10 locks. Weather's calmed down a little bit, but it really is what it is at this point. You having all right time? Evie. Hello. Rain's picking up a little bit, but it's what it's all about. It's what it's all about. That's it. That's the Black Country face. Yeah, all it is it's raining. They ain't angry. They're really friendly if you ask them. Hello. We're nearly there, I think, but it's getting wetter, as they say. So just so you know, being about 3 pints deep is good for geese etiquette. They get out of your way, and I call it Asian woman energy because I watched an Asian woman walk around Brookvale once and the geese were going for it. Not liking her presence at all. And she straight up ignored them. And that was that. So I try and filter that Asian woman energy as much as I can. But anyway, this building here, you may recognise it from this scene of Rosie and Jim from the late 90s. Rest in peace, our man, John.
Oh, quite stiff. I can feel it going up now. You can see just how far I've come. Lovely, thank you. Thank you very much.
All the best.
All the best to you. Bye-bye.
Oh, just down the road from the Vine, which is apparently also called the Bull and Bladder back in the day, but I'm not sure how true that is. But the Black Horse, that was closed last time we came here, which is probably only 2 months ago. And now it's under new management, as you can see. At the Black Horse, it looks a little bit karaoke-y, and like they might have a few hooches and reefers behind the bar. But good to see it open, that's the important thing. But we are going to bypass it as much as Kira needs a wee, because the Vine / Bull and Bladder is just here. The Babham's Brewery where we started all of our days. And we're going to have one final half a hour in there and head home. The brewery itself, beautiful, 1877. Just so you know, there's a car park just there for free whenever you do come here, which is brilliant. So thanks for joining. This has been a Brewery Wonders. This has been a wander round Dudley and the Black Country and Quarry Bank and Cradley Efar, inspired by an episode of Rosie and Jim. Thank you. And for the last one, I mean, this place is actually rammed. The back room, so this pub runs forever and ever, and they've got about, I'd say, 4 rooms worth of room full of priests and the church, and the other front room is full of cobs and fish and chips and conservatives, which is, I guess that's Tuesdays in the Babhams. She is unsure at the moment, but she can vote now. That's the new law. Pork pie and mustard, all supplied without any questions, you know what I mean? And I said it's pork pie for 2. Give you a knife and do you want mustard? Of course I want mustard. That's that. Mild, bloody bitter, all the stuff. This is all that's left of good old England. And we hope you enjoyed this, because probably won't last. A little bit of that. Thanks for joining. That's the end now. Bye-bye.
You can see just how far I've come. The long line of locks climbing up the hill, as high as 4 houses. It's a long way.